Hi, welcome back or welcome to the channel. Now, today we are going to talk about something interesting, which is Grendel Rework. Grendel is getting an entire rework, okay? So much so that he's arguably more of a tank than a Naros at this point. So keep that in mind. Okay, so let's look at his passive first, okay? Armor gained from enemy in gut, as in, he gets his regular thing is he gets armor for every enemy he has in his stomach. Okay, that's Grendel thing. So he gets right now 50 armor for every enemy. Well, now it's buffed up to 250 armor. Now, with that in mind, however, there is a caveat, which is the reason it was buffed up so much is because of the fact that he can only hold 5 enemies in his stomach now. Basically, they didn't want to make it so everything else was unplayable, with other people. They didn't want to have him be just eating up everything and holding them forever. But that's actually kind of what he does now. He just eats up stuff and just keeps them in his stomach forever. So, that isn't necessarily bad. There's also a UI indicator at the bottom right hand corner if you're seeing it on screen right now, which I think is actually very cool. It actually shows how much health they have left and whatnot. Now, if only we could get Necros's shadows to have a health bar on screen. But I digress. This is about Grendel. Moving on. Okay, remove energy drain from enemies in his gut or stomach. So basically, it won't drain energy now. Used to drain energy every time he walked whenever he had enemies in his stomach. Now it doesn't. So that's actually pretty brilliant. Basically, say, heavy gunner giving me trouble. I'll just eat him and save him for later, right? And save him for later is a very good segue to his second ability, which is Nourish. They actually removed the cycle to cast mechanic. So now literally all the abilities get cast at once. Let's see. He heals for a flat health value, depending on how many enemies are in his stomach. He receives 2 times energy efficiency orbs for him and allies in range. Let's see, Grendel and buffed allies explode radial viral damage, causing 10 stacks of viral procs and staggering enemies, which is pretty cool already. That gives him amazing crowd control on top of everything. He's ever having trouble with an enemy, he can just eat them. Crowd control? Yeah. Okay, Grendel and allies within range get bonus viral damage on their weapons. Okay. That is not bad at all. Papa actually mentioned why they wanted to do viral damage instead of what it was before, because before it was toxin damage, and they wanted to make it so if people were already shooting an enemy with any, like, say, cold or heat, that it would still apply to cold and heat. and not just combine with the toxin. So that's actually pretty considered. Pulverize or meatball, as most people know. Okay, and now the third ability no longer requires enemies in your gut or stomach to cast. But there is an energy drain if you don't have any enemies in your stomach. So I advise if you're gonna cast it, at least get, then get one enemy. Because you can actually cast all of your abilities while you're in the meatball form. Yes, you can cast your other abilities. So you can go into meatball form, so you don't die or whatever. And then you can actually eat up an enemy to stop the energy drain at all. So that's actually pretty cool. Also, general movements have been improved, meaning you can actually go upstairs with, while in the meatball form. You couldn't before. I know it seems crazy, but you had to actually get out of your meatball form. You can actually even jump while in the meatball form. It's pretty interesting. It's pretty interesting. And heal over time has been added. In the meatball form, it decays over time, but in actuality, you could just go out and back in the form whenever you wanted, and then just get so that heal over time actually is pretty cool. It makes him all the more tanky because just like say he's about to take lethal damage, he can just go into his meatball, absorb all the enemies around him while gaining health. Then he can cast Nourish altogether, and it's just brilliant. And then he has also more health and yeah, I mean more armor. Well, essentially more health, depending on how you think of it. But let's get into his fourth ability, okay? Okay, so his fourth ability, which is his ultimate. It used to be the meatball form, but now he has a different ultimate. Well, it's his three. It's his old three. But now his fourth ability. Cast a toxin damage over time. So basically he just like sprays like a toxin thing. And base 70% armor strip. Now I'm not actually sure because Pablo didn't mention too much about this, but it seems like he doesn't even need any enemies in his stomach to be able to do this thing. So if that's the case, that's like a super buff because before you needed to have enemies in your stomach. So, I mean, maybe you still do. I don't know. Even if you still do, that's still pretty good. But it becomes amazing if you don't, because then you can just basically, hit everything with toxin damage over time and base 70% armor strip, which means that you can mod it presumably up to 100% armor strip, which is pretty cool, especially with other armor changes. But yeah, let me know what you guys think of the new Grendel. Do you guys like him? Do you guys not like him? Does it make you want to be Grendel a little more now? Are you still like, I'm good? Let me know all that comment section below. And with that said, I will catch you guys in the future. Later.